Good morning, everybody. Orange Jay here with another War of the Visions video, and it is spooky time tomorrow. That's true, we're getting a lot of Halloween stuff tomorrow morning, but we are also getting Dark Selection Quest and Lameiga, the new unit. So let's spend a minute, let's talk about the unit, let's talk about Dark Selection Quest. And I've heard some rumors that a certain MR unit can actually just solo all these quests. I'm going to show you which one they are, and I'm going to hard commit to that strategy for tomorrow, and I promise you I'll do a video over it. So let's do all that stuff right now. Okay, so first up, Dark Selection Quest. I have heard from a lot of people that this girl right here, our girl Shadowlynx, one of the best EX jobs I think Global's ever gotten as far as like thematics. I've heard she can solo the whole thing. I've heard she can do it. So I'm going to commit to that strategy right now. Watch this. I'm going to EX Shadowlynx. I'm going to spend some of my hard-earned Blossoms of Paradise on this girl. I can't do it right now because I'm out of the Dark Alchemist Reds. But anyway, I'm going to use Shadowlynx, 120 Shadowlynx. I'm going to have her try and just beat this whole thing by herself. If I can do it, I promise you I will put a video out of it, and that'll be awesome. Now, there's some more things to talk about here. Let's start with Lameiga, the unit that we're getting, and I have his stats on the screen here. Okay, so this guy's jobs are Pugilist, Samurai, and Double Gunner. That gives him access to 3 damage types. And right there, that is a big like feather in his hat. That's something that will help him overcome what I think are his mediocre stat pools that you see on the screen here. Keep in mind too, he's also a very evasive unit. We'll talk about that more in a little bit. Let's focus on his level 120 stats. 3,786 HP, that's okay. Like, I think that's decent, it's not good or bad. Attack at 445, I do think that's a little low. I think his attack value could be something above 500, and as a damage dealing unit, I would have liked to seen it higher, but it is what it is. 57 agility, that's low, especially for an evasion unit. 268 luck is fine, 258 dex is fine. He's move 3, jump 2, and then you can see his resists on the screen there. He at least is resistant to slash, and only a little bit weak to magic. There's really nothing to write home about his resists. Now, he does come with the new unit buff, right? The Dark element, HP and attack buff, and Dark is a really strong element. So something that will already help him is if you're doing a mono Dark team, you're running him in that team, the other units he's with are probably going to be pretty strong. That will help him out, and he is buffing them just with his master ability. The rest of his master ability looks like this. Evasion rate 10. That's it. Basically, his master ability is 10 evasion. Now, if you're an evasion unit, 10 evasion's kind of nice, but I still think that's kind of weak. Let me talk about these units in general. I tend to look at Selection Quest units and think they're going to be weaker than they end up being. I did it with Camilo. Like, I actually thought Camilo wasn't going to be worth building when he first came out, and then I saw him in action, and I was really surprised and really, kind of overwhelmed by what he could do. I feel like this will be the same sort of thing here. I used Velny a lot when she came out, and she really impressed me. So, keep that in mind. I tend to really rank these people a lot lower than what they are. His TMR. If you're thinking about taking him to 99 just for his TMR, I don't think it's bad or good. Like, 166 attack is fine. Accuracy plus 20 for a TMR weapon is actually pretty nice. But if you can build a Kaiser Knuckle plus 5, you might want to go that route instead. Let's look at the interesting part of this, his stats. Now, he has Soul of the Sword. I think this is really good, especially if you're going evasion. 25% attack, 12 evasion, and defense minus only 3. I like this one a lot, and then I really like Tune-Up. The fact that he has access to Double Gunner that gives him access to Tune-Up is very nice. 12 more agility will help overcome that weakness a little bit with his low agility, and 40 defense pin will help him overcome his lower attack. So, having Double Gunner on this guy is nice just for that support ability, if nothing else. Otherwise, Fighting Spirit's pretty good, and Strike Counter, like the upgrade here, it gives you 20 accuracy, so if you're specifically going anti-evasion, you can do that, and then it buffs his Burst Counter reaction ability to a 50% proc chance and ups the damage. So that's not bad, but you probably do something like Mindful, I would say, 20% chance of increasing your evasion. Okay. So far, I'm still not impressed. Let's look at his skills. Now, before we look at his skills, I want to point something out. His EX upgrades, He only gets 2 EX upgrades, but his skills look like there's upgrades all over the place. I'm going to walk you through exactly sort of what's going on here. First up, Steel Fist Stance. Let's cover his EX buff first. Steel Fist Stance. That's going to be this one right here. Steel Body. This is a pugilist buff that gives them HP and defense. He has that. It upgrades to still give 20% HP and 15 defense, but upgrades a lot of the rest of his skills. This is why you see upgrades all over the page here. Okay, let's start looking at those skills. Rock Shikong. God, this is video full of words I can't say. Anyway, this attack gets upgraded by Steel Fist Stance. So if he casts Steel Fist Stance on himself, he will get this buff right here that still does 121% damage, right? Still moves you to target panel, but it now breaks the physical barrier for the target. So he gets a barrier break. Notice this is called Steel Fist. I believe they called it that because a fist of steel can punch through physical barriers. That's pretty cool. Another skill that he gets upgraded by that is this one right here, Shura's Strong Arm. It upgrades to Shura's, the translations or whatever. So anyway, this is a human killer move. You've seen other pugilists do this. It hits in that little line AoE in front of you. Now, it gives 25 human killer, just like it did before, still hits for the same amount of damage, but breaks barriers, because Fist of Steel breaking barriers. So that is something that this guy will bring to the table, is a ton of barrier breaks, as long as he's casted Steel Fist Stance on himself. Okay, his other EX upgrade is to Just Broken. Don't pay attention to this first word. It confused the hell out of me for a while. But Just Broken upgrades this skill right here, Yasha Hate Just Broken. Previously, this is a 210 modifier physical attack that scales by 15% each time you've received damage, up to a maximum of a 75% increase to the damage. Now, it also debuffs defense by 30 for 1 turn before doing all of that damage. So again, that's a pretty good upgrade there. And then his job level 25 ability right here, this is Ignore Float, hits in a little line-based AoE, and also has that 15% modifier. Note, he also has a strike attack plus 40 for 3 turns for his allies, while increasing his defense pen by 20 for himself. So, what's going on here? There's a lot. Basically, what this guy looks like to me is a striking unit that has access to 2 other damage types, right? With his samurai job and his dual gunner job, who has a lot of ways to break down barriers and get through defense. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And he's dark element, so there's a lot of good vision cards, a lot of good other units to pair him with. I don't know, that's my preview. I don't think, like, let me put my face back on the screen here. Looking at all of these skills, I don't know. He looks kind of weak to me. I'm not going to lie. But like I've said, these selection quest units are always a surprise for me in the end. So I am going to do Dark Selection, and you should too if you can, because it gives you access to 100 elemental leveling materials that you can farm every month. The Awakening Prisms and the Fragments of Thought are so worth getting. You should absolutely do these if you can. Okay, that's it. This video felt like it was way all over the place to me. My mind's in a weird spot right now. I hope it made sense. I hope it was pretty good because I'm done recording it now. So have a good day, everybody. I'll catch you next time. Peace.